Good morning. Thank you so much for listening to the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM 99.5 FM The Jag. You can also watch on the News Radio 710 WNTM Facebook page. We are still feeding video to those that want to look in the studio. I feel better than I look. A wonderful day, moist but wonderful. Toward the end of the newscast there from WKRG's Jessica Taloni, you heard about the Jags. Jags baseball. The Jags continue to win, and they are headed to the NCAA Regionals. It's going to be in Hattiesburg. First game versus Mississippi State, and that's going to be Friday. Now, if I understand things correctly, that at 8 o'clock this morning, some of the tickets are going to go on sale. Season ticket holders, the baseball season ticket holders can purchase this morning at 8, and Dugout Club members can purchase at 8 this morning, and then the remaining tickets will be available tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. So the Jags, congratulations to the Jags. Go Jags, as the Jags go on to the NCAA Regionals in Hattiesburg. Fantastic. So what's new with you? Did you have a wonderful, well, I don't know if you had a 3-day weekend or not. If so, I hope you had a wonderful one. Hope you did take some time yesterday to realize what that day was all about and why it was a holiday. I did see a few news headlines about people forgetting what Memorial Day was for. And I find that really hard to believe. In this part of the world, now maybe in other parts of the country, but how could that be here along the Gulf Coast? Because we send more people into the military. Families here have made enormous sacrifices and continue to do so at a higher percentage than most other parts of the country. So I would think that maybe other parts of the country might forget the reason for Memorial Day, but not locally, right? We are a place that sends a lot of people into the services. And a lot of the families make tremendous sacrifices. So I'm gonna think those headlines don't have anything to do with us locally. I think locally we're more likely to know what Memorial Day is all about. Hope you had a wonderful, if it was a 3-day weekend, I hope you did have a wonderful and reflective weekend. More in just a moment after traffic and weather together.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
We've had several cases of trees down on the roadway thanks to the weather that moved through the area last night and early this morning. The latest to pop up is affecting the westbound side of Savannah at South Washington Avenue. Tree in the roadway there. Also an accident on Range Line and Halls Mill. Still not much to talk about on the interstate system. A drive across the Bayway through the Wallace Tunnel remains in good shape this morning. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Ray Romero.
This report is brought to you by the Foundation for a Better Life.
She didn't just visit the sick and poor. She moved in with them because they needed help. Mother Teresa couldn't do it all, but she gave her all. Compassion. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
First Alert Weather from WKRG News 5 and the Southern Cancer Center Weather Center.
I'm meteorologist John Nodar with the News 5 First Alert Storm Team. Wet streets for the morning commute for a lot of folks this morning, and if it hasn't rained on you yet, just give it a little time. There's a 60% chance that a shower or thunderstorm will find you before the day is done. We'll see a daytime high in the mid-80s. The rain does taper a bit during the afternoon. The humidity stays high and the winds will be light except gusting near thunderstorms.
This report is brought to you by Unbound.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
This morning at 9, ask the expert. Then Rush at 11. Right now, it's Uncle Henry on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show. Thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. News headlines coming up in less than 20 minutes from Fox and from WKRG. One of the big stories nationally is what happened in Texas in the Texas legislature, a shoving match on the Texas House floor yesterday, final day of their legislative session. It had to do with sanctuary cities, and some protesters came into the Texas legislature, and one of the legislators claimed that he had called ICE on the protesters, and that seemed to inflame some of the people that were on the side of the protesters. And shoving match with threats from both sides, it looks like. I'm having trouble sorting out exactly who said what because people are saying different things. But at one point, there was the threat of pulling out a gun and shooting somebody. It didn't happen. I don't think a punch was thrown. I think there was just pushing. So we'll get a lot of attention on that, at least for today, before the country moves on to some other thing. It makes me wonder, are there any state legislatures where people feel good about what happens in their legislature? We've had, you may remember, in Alabama, we've had some problems with our state government. Not just legislature, but with the governor in relations with the legislature. So we've had problems on the state level. Looks like they've got a problem there in Texas if people are shoving and threatening to whip out pistols. Is there any state where people get along really well and they don't have this kind of stuff? And would you trade Alabama for Texas in terms of what we went through and what they're going through? I'm not sure. Theirs is embarrassing, but it's over. It's pretty much over now, unless somebody files a lawsuit. Our problems with the governor went on for what, a year? Over a year? It may be better to just have tempers flare and then get it done and move on rather than what we went through. But is there a state? Is there a state where people are just so laid back that they don't have any kind of altercations in their state, in their legislature? We know they've had some problems in California. What about Hawaii? We're always told that people are the happiest out there. I wonder if they're laid back and they have drinks with umbrellas in them in their legislative sessions. That's the only state I could think that might be calm. There's more to come. More residential development in downtown Mobile. We'll get to that next on the Uncle Henry Show.
If you know the value of good machines, then it's high time we got together. We're Bailey Industrial, builders of metal and woodworking equipment. Hard-working machines for hard-working people. We stand behind our equipment and make sure our equipment stands behind you, offering you the after-sale support you need to keep your shop running smoothly, which means making sure you have what you need when you need it, typically shipping within 72 hours or less. So whether you're a fabricator or manufacturer of metal or wood products, go to Bailey.com or call 920-MACHINE and we'll send you a catalog. That's right, friend. Over 400 pages of what you love most, machines. So whatever you're looking to build or manufacture, do it with Bailey Industrial, the company you can trust to give you the equipment and service you can rely on. That's B-A-I-L-E-I-G-H. Bailey, because if it's worth doing right, it's only right to do it with Bailey. So call 920-MACHINE or go to Bailey.com now and pick up your free catalog.
When smart businesses need to grow their team, they do it on the site proven to deliver, Indeed.com. According to an independent study, Indeed delivers 5 times more hires than any other job site, more hires than the rest combined. And right now we're giving new users a $50 credit to post a sponsored job, boosting your listing and relevant search results. Claim your $50 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
You gotta love saving up to 50% off. And the Dell Memorial Day sale delivers massive deals. Dell definitely didn't hold back on the savings, and they have an amazing selection. You can score the latest Dell PCs with Intel processors, gorgeous Samsung TVs, or maybe you're after Bose Audio or a Google Home and Nest bundle. Shop big Memorial Day deals by visiting Dell.com/Memorial Day or call 800-BUY-DELL.
I'm Uncle Henry, a customer of Heads Heating and Air Conditioning. I've used them for maintenance and for when my old system went out on me. Last year, I asked them to turn to the experts, Carrier, and replace my old natural gas furnace with a Carrier 95% high-efficiency unit. And so I had a cozy, warm home last winter with lower heating bills. And I'm looking forward to a cool home this summer with that new system. Carrier, high-efficiency natural gas, and Heads Heating and Air Conditioning make a great team. Did you know they've got financing available at 0% interest for up to 60 months? You can't beat 0% on a new system. What a great combo. Carrier, natural gas, Heads Heating and Air Conditioning, and financing at 0% interest for up to 60 months. So turn to the experts, Carrier, and call Heads Heating and Air Conditioning. The number is 251-653-7873. 251-653-7873. See if you qualify for that great deal on 0% interest.
It's Heating and Air Conditioning, where 3 heads are better than 1.
I'm Maeve Higgins, the comedian bringing you season 2 of a brilliant podcast from First Look Media, Maeve in America. It's immigration stories told by people who've lived them in conversation with me.
When you came to America, was anything different that you did not expect?
I think the thing that stuck out most is that I saw more white people than I thought I would see.
How did you find us?
People are people to me, and that definitely hasn't changed.
Search for Maeve in America on iHeartRadio now. That's Maeve, M-A-E-V-E, in America.
Hey guys, I'm Jillian Michaels, and you can catch my irreverent, super fun, crazy and wild podcast. It's free on iHeartRadio right now. All the best info on career advice, dating, life lessons, health, fitness, nutrition. Search for Jillian Michaels on iHeartRadio.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Dean McCrary Volvo Traffic Center.
We've had several cases of trees down on the roadway thanks to the weather that moved through the area last night and early this morning. The latest to pop up is affecting the westbound side of Savannah at South Washington Avenue. Tree in the roadway there. Also an accident on Range Line and Halls Mill. Still not much to talk about on the interstate system. The drive across the Bayway through the Wallace Tunnel remains in good shape this morning. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Ray Romero.
This report is brought to you by the Foundation for a Better Life.
When Marlon Shirley was 5, he lost his foot. Today, as the world's fastest amputee, he runs the 100 meters in less time than it takes to listen to this. Overcoming. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life.
First alert weather from WKRG News 5 and the Chemco Metal Buildings Weather Center.
Rain and thunderstorms return today. I'm meteorologist John Nodar with the News 5 First Alert Storm Team. 60% chance of showers and some thunderstorms, especially during the morning hours. It will taper a bit in the afternoon. Daytime high, mid-80s with high humidity and a southeasterly breeze. And we've got more soggy days in store for later this week.
Roll Tide. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show. Thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. News headlines coming up in about 10 minutes from Fox and from WKRG. Ariel, please join me here. Saw a story on Local 15 TV over the weekend that developers have bought the Regions Bank building, corner of St. Francis and St. Joseph. So they're on Bienville Square, the Regions Bank building, and they're going to transform it into a multi-use space, and it will include condos.
Ooh.
So does the idea of living in a condo on Bienville Square appeal to you?
Yes, I've always wanted to live in downtown Mobile. After, I think it was about 4 years ago, one of our coworkers was living in downtown Mobile, and I visited her townhome. I don't think it was a condo. I think it was a townhome. Greatest townhome I've ever been in. It was wonderful and very lavish. So I've always wanted to live in downtown Mobile since then.
But I'm curious, right there, though, on Bienville Square, is that you want to be close to the action, but is that too close to the action? I mean, you're right. That is the action.
Exactly. Think about it. I have a 2-year-old, and they always do these Bienville Kids Day in the Square type things during the summer. I'm right across the street. I can just walk out of my front door and walk right across the street, and my kid has an entire play area. And Mardi Gras, come on. There's no wrestling with the crowds, trying to find somewhere to park. Joe Kane Sunday is going to be the greatest ever if I live in downtown Mobile.
Okay. I'm conflicted on there's some I think it would be great to be down there, but there's some quality of life things that are not there yet.
Like what?
Like Dollar General. If they were to have a Dollar General there.
That's not going to happen.
Well, it should. If they want residential, then they need to have a Dollar General down there.
You're thinking the upper echelon. The upper echelon do not shop at Dollar General. They're not going to put that in downtown Mobile. They're just not. There's a CVS there. You can go and spend $1 million for deodorant in a CVS, but you will not be getting a Dollar General in downtown Mobile.
But that will lead to, I know the whole point of this is more residential growth for downtown Mobile, transforming it that much more, making it even more healthy.
Yeah.
I just would love to. I don't know. I mean, I see the appeal of it. You're right there in the thick of things.
Easy access to the entertainment district.
But I need easy access to. If I need a frozen pizza, I need to have it immediately.
No,
you don't. If I need Claritin, I need to have it immediately.
CVS.
I need a Dollar General, a Dollar Tree, something like that.
Look, nobody needs that stuff.
For residential development, you do.
You do not.
You do.
You absolutely do not. All you need is some really good perks, like, I don't know, walking distance to the nearest nightclub.
And people love their pets. If I've got my dog and my dog needs to go to the bathroom at 3 a.m,
tell him hold it.
Who's going to be out there? If I'm walking out into the Bienville Square with my dog, who will be greeting me?
Probably a mugger.
Okay. Oh, really? Is that so?
Yeah.
So there's
really
that happens in downtown Mobile, muggings?
I've heard. I've never experienced it myself, but I've heard stories. Not too many of them, but I've heard stories. But then again, it happens everywhere. So, you could walk outside your front door now at 3 a.m. and get mugged.
That's true. That's true. All right. Look, I'm sure this is going to be a huge success just based on your reaction. People are going to want to be a condo right on maybe one of the best spots to have a parade
But
view.
wait, guess what the problem is?
What?
People like me hear this and go, ooh, yay. But people like me don't have any money to buy these condos.
I'm sure people of all price ranges. In fact, some people with even way more money than either one of us put together are going to get the condo just to use that Mardi Gras.
True.
They won't be in it the rest of the year.
It's brilliant. And then they can rent it out to people who want to just, have a place.
Well, I'm sure they're going to
That's how you make money.
They're going to make this will do quite well.
Yeah.
If they want people like me down, maybe they don't want people like me down there.
I don't think they do. Especially not if you need a Dollar General close by.
And an urgent care.
Yes.
I'd also like an urgent care.
Yeah, they don't want you there.
In fact, if they were to put the urgent care in the bottom of that building and let you live on top of the urgent care.
That sounds terrible.
It sounds terrific. Anytime I feel like something's going wrong, I can go down there and let them take a look.
But people who already have stuff wrong with them are down there, which means now you have germs all over your building. Can you imagine the stuff that you can catch just by living in the same building as an urgent care?
I'm sure that we could figure out some science to.
Who thinks of these things?
Me. I would love it. I'm trying to think of the things that I would want there, and that's what I'd like: an urgent care, a Dollar General, stuff like that.
Oh, jeez.
All right, thank you, Ariel. Ariel, showing that it will be a success. People are going to want that. That is a hot address. That is a hot address. There on Bienville Square, condos on the square, and then I'm sure some people are going to buy it just for Mardi Gras. I'm trying to think, what else would I want? An urgent care, a Dollar General. That pretty much is it. I think that's all I need.
This is a Bloomberg Market Minute. U.S. stock futures are falling, indicating a lower Wall Street open as investors return to a holiday-shortened trading week. Today we're watching for reports on personal income and spending, home prices and consumer confidence, and it's a busy week for economic data, including reports on pending home sales, an update on manufacturing and the auto sales numbers, and then on Friday, the May employment report. S&P futures are down about 6 points, Dow futures down 42. NYMEX crude is lower by 0.75% at $49.43 a barrel. As U.S. unemployment falls to the lowest level in a decade, people with blemishes on their resumes are getting second looks by employers trying to fill vacancies that currently stand at a near-record 5.7 million. Economists, companies, and government officials say that people with arrest records are increasingly getting hired. Overseas European markets are lower. The Nikkei was little changed to lower today. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
A recent study asked 12,000 adults why they take expensive multivitamins and minerals. With the answer, here is the inventor of Texas Superfood, Dennis Black.
University studies show that multivitamin supplements are mostly synthetic and do little to improve your health. I believe the secret to great health is pure natural nutrition, not chemistry-set supplements. Great health comes from nature, and that's what's in Texas Superfood. Nature's antioxidant-rich vitamins and minerals from 55 vine-ripened fruits and vegetables. So here's my health promise to you. Switch from your chemistry-set vitamins to Texas Superfood for 90 days and experience increased energy, more focus, and better sleep, or return it. No questions asked.
Now, when you order 2 bottles of Texas Superfood, you can get the 3rd bottle free, but you must call now. 877-55-TEXAS. That's 877-55-TEXAS. You can also order online at TexasSuperfood.com. Call now, 877-55-TEXAS. That's 877-55-TEXAS.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
We have an accident in a range line at Halls Mill that's been working for a while in a couple of areas with trees down in the roadway. The most recent we've heard about is the westbound side of Savannah Street at South Washington Avenue. No major I-10 problems for those of you who may be making the trip across the Bayway through the Wallace Tunnel. I-65 and the Causeway through the Bankhead moving nicely as well. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Ray Romero.
First Alert Weather from WKRG News 5 and the Southern Cancer Center Weather Center.
Gray skies above and for some, wet streets below on the morning commute. And if you haven't been rained on yet, chances are you will be before the day is done. About a 60% chance of showers and some thunderstorms during the day today. We'll see the rain taper in the afternoon hours and our daytime high warm into the mid-80s with high humidity and light winds. I'm meteorologist John Nodar with the News 5 First Alert Storm Team.
On the Finding Mastery podcast, we decode the many paths towards mastery, learning from Hall of Fame athletes and entrepreneurs and scientists to musicians who influence the rhythm of the world. I'm Michael Gervais, and I've been in the trenches with some of the best performers in the world, learning from and helping them unlock their potential. They have so much to teach us about how to push on our own edges to explore a life of deep meaning and performance in our own unique way. Head over to the Finding Mastery podcast to learn more from these masters of craft. That's the Finding Mastery podcast.
Good morning, I'm Jessica Taloni with WKRG News 5, coverage you can count on. Strong storms swept through our area overnight. In Grand Bay, a mobile home off Rainbow Downs Road was significantly damaged. A News 5 viewer reports roof damage and a fence down around the mobile home. On Cottage Hill Road, crews worked early this morning to remove a large limb that fell. 3 of 4 lanes on Cottage Hill were blocked around 3 this morning, while crews used heavy equipment to remove that limb. The search continues for 16-year-old Brian Parker, who was reported missing 1 week ago today. Last week, police searched the trailer of Matthew Moberg, who was the last person seen with Parker. Moberg was arrested after a 2-hour manhunt last Wednesday. Moberg will be back in court today. His attorney is asking a judge to reconsider a bond. South Alabama fans will not have to travel far to watch their Jags in the NCAA Regionals. The Jags will be number 3 seed in the Hattiesburg region, hosted by Southern Miss. Mississippi State is also in that regional. I'm Jessica Taloni with WKRG News 5, coverage you can count on.
Fox News Radio, I'm Chris Foster. There's pushback from the White House against a story that the president's son-in-law tried to set up secret communications with the Russian government before the inauguration.
A source close to the situation tells Fox News Russia floated the idea of a secure private communication line with Jared Kushner and that it would be a temporary channel to discuss Syria. Democratic Congressman Ruben Gallego told CNN,
if he cannot handle his job, he needs to turn in his security clearance and go back to doing real estate in New York City.
President Trump is defending Kushner, telling the New York Times he's doing a great job for the country.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland. White House Communications Director Mike Dubke is resigning. White House counsel Kellyanne Conway tells Fox people leave administrations.
They tend to find that working 18-hour days in different environments are maybe not what's best suited for them.
Fox News. We report, you decide.
Been a conservative all my life. I want a senator with the guts to fight liberals and corrupt politicians. A conservative senator like Sessions and a tough outsider like Trump. Well, that's Big Luther Strange. As Attorney General, Big Luther fought Obama to protect our Second Amendment. He led a public corruption prosecution team that convicted a corrupt House Speaker, convicted dozens of corrupt public officials. Big Luther Strange followed Jeff's...
Hey, Facebook. Hey, Facebook. Uncle Henry here, just between me and you. You, the Facebook viewer, and me, still employed. Right now, my brain is not functioning the way it should, the way I wished it would. Over the weekend, I was off for 3 days instead of the customary 2. I got way more sleep than I normally get. It messed up my sleep schedule. And then last night when it was time to go to bed to be ready for this program, I could not force myself to sleep. So I'm operating on just a few hours, about 3 hours of sleep. And so my attention span is very small. I find it difficult to think about one thing for more than just a couple of seconds before my brain moves on to some other thing. And in the back of my mind is the desire to just lay down. So maybe that makes the show even more intriguing. The fact that who knows what kind of blooper might happen in the next several hours. We still have several hours of show to go here. I want to say good morning to Eric Erdman. I saw Eric Erdman at MobyCon. It's quite a shock seeing people that I consider living healthy lives outside of MobyCon to be at MobyCon was just kind of shocking. But congratulations to Eric Erdman. He was not dressed like Spock or anything like that. All right, stand by.
WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show. Thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. In the last segment of the program, I was talking about how a developer is going to turn the Regions Bank building in downtown Mobile into a mixed-use space, including condos. Condos there at Bienville Square. I think that will be a tremendous success. Let me go to the email inbox. I have an email about that. Subject line on the email is Regions building parking, ? Email reads, Unc, I believe that old Regions Bank building has an underground parking lot already. A big plus right there. And that email from Harmon. Harmon, if it's the building I'm thinking of, wasn't there like a cafeteria there in the bottom of that building that was it called Zitzo's? Am I remembering that correctly, Harmon? If I'm remembering that correctly, by the way, that cafeteria had some of the best chicken tenders I've ever had in my life. Now that's something that if they put the condo in there, I was thinking that I would like an urgent care. If I were going to live in the condo in the Regions Bank building, I'd love for there to be an urgent care in the bottom of it. I would also love for them to reopen the Zitzo's cafeteria. Now wouldn't that be something, to live on top of a place that made chicken tenders? Or put a Foosackly's in it. Can you imagine? I would become 300 pounds before leaving the planet. I'm sure that once I became 300 pounds, I wouldn't be around much longer. What a great way to go, living on top of a Foosackly. This was not a commercial for Foosackly's. I'm just saying. Some of that Kung Fu sauce. Let's talk to Joe. Hello, Joe.
Good morning, Uncle Henry. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing excellent. I'm driving in from across the bay, headed to my place of employment. And I was listening to you talk to the previous caller about, the cafeterias that used to be in downtown Mobile.
Yes.
And Zitzo's was in the basement of the old First National Bank building.
First National Bank. Okay.
Yeah. And then, but in the Merchants National Bank building, they used to have a cafeteria in that building too, but it was only for the employees and tenants of the Merchants National Bank building. And both, I can tell you from personal experience, both were fine places to eat.
I remember, I don't know about the private one, but the public one, it was terrific. It really was.
Oh, Claire Zitzos and her mother, Lord have mercy, they could cook up. I used to love to go there and get the vegetable plate in one of those absolutely heavenly homemade rolls that they used to make there. They were so good.
Oh, my goodness. You've made me want a time machine to go back to the Zitzos. Thank you, Joe, for your call.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Dean McCrary Audi Traffic Center.
We have an accident in a range line at Halls Mill that's been working for a while, and a couple of areas with trees down in the roadway. The most recent we've heard about is the westbound side of Savannah Street at South Washington Avenue. No major I-10 problems for those of you who may be making the trip across the Bayway through the Wallace Tunnel. I-65 and the Causeway through the Bankhead moving nicely as well. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Ray Romero.
This report is brought to you by Unbound. There's a girl in El Salvador who dreams of becoming an engineer. There's an elder in Uganda who dreams of having a community to call his own. No two dreams are the same. Help one person achieve theirs at unbound.org.
First Alert Weather from WKRG News 5 and the Chemco Metal Buildings Weather Center.
I'm meteorologist John Nodar with the News 5 First Alert Storm Team. Wet streets for the morning commute for a lot of folks this morning, and if it hasn't rained on you yet, just give it a little time. There's a 60% chance that a shower or thunderstorm will find you before the day is done. We'll see a daytime high in the mid-80s. The rain does taper a bit during the afternoon. The humidity stays high, and the winds will be light except gusting near thunderstorms.
This report is brought to you by Unbound. There's a girl in El Salvador who dreams of becoming an engineer. There's an elder in Uganda who dreams of having a community to call his own. No two dreams are the same. Help one person achieve theirs at unbound.org.
Traffic updates every 10 minutes on the 9s every morning. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show. Thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. The Daily Reagan coming up in about 10 minutes. We were off yesterday, so we didn't get to share with you any Memorial Day type comments from President Reagan, and I will do that for you in the next 10 minutes. Right now, Angelo's with us from Mobile Bay Coins. Angelo, there are developers that are going to take the old Regions Bank building in downtown Mobile and turn it into a mixed-use space, including condos.
I think it's a great idea.
I do too, and I was thinking that if I were going to live there, that I would love for them to put in the bottom of the building an urgent care. I'd love to live over an urgent care, and I'd love to live over a Fusakli's. I think it would just, wouldn't that, what would you want to, if you were going to live over businesses, which businesses would you like to live over?
Well, I was just thinking, Uncle Henry, aren't you sort of recreating an assisted living care there, where you've got, you know, some nurses and folks on staff and some fried chicken and things to eat there? It's almost like you're recreating a condo that's assisted living.
Well, they're not going to come up to me. I'm still going to have to. I'm going to have to get down there myself. And if I use the stairs, that will help my exercise. If let's say I live on the 6th floor. That's quite an effort for a man my age. I think it's very healthy. Plus, I've got the urgent care if I need it. I've got the chicken if I need it. What would you live over if you were going to live in a condo and it had businesses under it? What would you live over?
Well, that's a tough question, because on one hand, I love that idea of having fried chicken right there, or like in my case, I would love to have a good Italian restaurant downstairs with, homemade pizza and Italian bread and things like that. But my goodness, if I lived over something like that and it was that convenient, Uncle Henry, I'd probably weigh an extra 100 pounds.
Well,
that would be my fear.
Okay. Well, then what would you, can you think of anything that you'd want to live over that would be convenient to you?
Oh, there's so many, like you just mentioned, there's so many different things like that would be great and it would be convenient. But at the same time, sometimes having all those comforts right there handy is not necessarily a good thing, because it's too tempting.
All right, well, then let's flip it.
I would pass.
All right, well, let's flip it.
Okay.
We're all trying to achieve work-life balance in our lives. True. And a lot of people live at their business. Would you object to living over your own business, or would you like the convenience of living over your own business?
I actually would like the convenience of being that close to the business. I really would.
Even though you'd never be able to leave.
That is true, and that is a problem. But as you well know, I pretty much work every day as it is, and that would make it that much easier for me to work constantly.
All right,
not necessarily a good thing.
Okay, before we run out of time, Mobile Bay Coins, it's the beginning of a new week. What do we have to look forward to? Anything new coming in this week?
The restock order of the South African Cougarans should be in. I think they were actually going to deliver it Saturday, but they changed the mail route, so they're coming in. They were coming in late, so they will be here late this afternoon. We will have the new Cougarans back in stock. We did just get some beautiful gold coins in stock again. A lot of the 10th-ounce Canadian Maple Leafs are in. We've talked about those a few times. And if anybody's looking for roll quantities of the silver Maple Leafs, I can cut them a great deal on those.
Okay, there he is. He would live over his business. Angelo of Mobile Bay Coins, 2204 Government Street in Midtown. Look for Mobile Bay Coins on Facebook, mobilebaycoins.com. Angelo, have a great day.
You too, Uncle Henry.
There's more to come. The Daily Reagan is next. Some comments from President Reagan on Memorial Day.
The Glenn Beck program introduces a new eve. An eve of global war. Celebrate with your family and friends. Today at 5, News Radio 710, WNTM.
If you want a good night's sleep, you need a great mattress. I'm Uncle Henry. I can tell you where you can get a great mattress at the best price, and that's at Sleep Center. Sleep Center has their Memorial Day event going on right now. You can save big on Sealy with the lowest prices of the year. Sealy queen sets starting at $377. And if you're ready for an amazing deal on adjustable beds, you can save up to $600 when you get a Tempur-Pedic with an adjustable base. Save up to $800 when you get a high-quality Stearns & Foster mattress with an adjustable base. And remember that there is fantastic financing available. Sleep Center has 3 locations locally, 2 in Mobile, 1 on Airport Boulevard in the Esther Oak Shopping Center, 1 at McGowan Park between Verizon Wireless and H&R Block, and now in Spanish Fort in the Eastern Shore Center where Shoe Station used to be. Find out more online at sleepcenternow.net and make sure you take advantage of this Memorial Day event. Lowest prices of the year at Sleep Center.
MSNBC's Morning Joe speaks truth to power.
Here's a message to the White House. You keep lying, we're going to keep reporting.
With access to the people who matter.
Is the war on the media over?
From the Senate floor.
One issue you heard there where you thought, okay, maybe we can work with this president on that.
To the Oval Office.
Joe was first to report.
2 sources tell us at Morning Joe.
Through every hallway in the Beltway.
It's time to see what we see.
We see the need for an extensive investigation.
Morning Joe, weekdays 6 to 9 Eastern on MSNBC.
Here's a conversation between John McNeil and Ed Ahrens of McNeil, Ahrens, and Lambert Financial Group.
Hey, John, any thoughts on financial New Year's resolutions for next year?
Ed, we meet with so many new clients that have investments for retirement, but no retirement plan. One recommendation we're making is to spend an hour with us at no cost or obligation and let us gather enough information to put together a plan that provides secure growth, lifetime income, adjustments for inflation, provisions for long-term care, and ensuring the proper transfer of your estate at death. Without a plan, they don't know where they are or where they're going.
You can call MAL Financial at 251-666-5000 or visit them online at malfinancial.com.
Ed and Virginia are investment advisor representatives of Global Financial Private Capital. Investment advisory services offered through Global Financial Private Capital, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
At Mercedes-Benz Mobile, servicing the customer always comes first. If your Mercedes is in need of repair or general maintenance, come see us at our state-of-the-art service center on Dolphin Street. Our highly certified auto technicians are equipped with the latest tools and technologies to take care of your Mercedes or any other luxury vehicle, including Lexus, BMW, Audi, and Jaguar. Give your car a little TLC and visit our service center at 3060 Dolphin Street today. Mercedes-Benz Mobile, doing our part to keep you moving forward.
Take care of your skin. See Dr. Thomas Bender at Advanced Dermatology and Skincare Center. Dr. Bender sees patients in Mobile, Daphne, and Bay Minette. Find out more online at advanceddermclinic.com.
I'm Jason Flom, founding board member of the Innocence Project, and my new podcast is Wrongful Conviction, available on iHeartRadio. On Wrongful Conviction, I interview a different exoneree every week and help them to tell their incredible stories of tragedy and triumph against impossible odds. You've got to hear it to believe it. Wrongful Conviction from iHeart Studios, available now on iHeartRadio.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
No big problems on either I-10 or I-65 into or out of the region this morning. We are seeing more rain pop up on radar. Now, for the time being, most of this remains pretty good distance to the north of our area, but it may change and become more of a factor as we go along today. The Mobile Bay Ferry is running the single ferry schedule today. No RVs or trailers allowed. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Ray Romero.
This report is brought to you by the T.J. Martell Foundation.
Hey everybody, I'm Eric Church, asking you to join me in the fight against leukemia, cancer, and AIDS through the T.J. Martell Foundation. Your support helps facilitate cutting-edge research that will lead to more effective treatments and save more lives. Visit tjmartell.org to learn about music's promise for a cure.
First Alert Weather from WKRG News 5 and the Southern Cancer Center Weather Center.
Rain and thunderstorms return today. I'm meteorologist John Nodar with the News 5 First Alert Storm Team. 60% chance of showers and some thunderstorms, especially during the morning hours. It will taper a bit in the afternoon. Daytime high, mid-80s with high humidity and a southeasterly breeze. And we've got more soggy days in store for later this week.
News? Check. Traffic and weather? Check. Opinions? Check. This is the Uncle Henry Show, only on News Radio 710 WNTM.
We've arrived at the Daily Reagan here on News Radio 710, WNTM and 99.5 FM The Jag. The Daily Reagan is a presentation of SAD Healthcare, SAAD, sadhealthcare.com. The show was not on yesterday, so we were not able to provide you with the president talking about Memorial Day, so we make up for it today. Here is President Reagan with some comments regarding Memorial Day.
Today is the day we put aside to remember fallen heroes and to pray that no heroes will ever have to die for us again. It's a day of thanks for the valor of others, a day to remember the splendor of America and those of our children who rest in this cemetery and others. It's a day to be with the family and remember. I was thinking this morning that across the country, children and their parents will be going to the town parade, and the young ones will sit on the sidewalks and wave their flags as the band goes by. Later, maybe they'll have a cookout or a day at the beach, and that's good, because today is a day to be with the family and to remember. Arlington, this place of so many memories, is a fitting place for some remembering. So many wonderful men and women rest here. We must always remember that peace is a fragile thing that needs constant vigilance. We owe them a promise to look at the world with a steady gaze and perhaps a resigned toughness, knowing that we have adversaries in the world and challenges, and the only way to meet them and maintain the peace is by staying strong. That, of course, is the lesson of this century, a lesson learned in the Sudetenland, in Poland, in Hungary, in Czechoslovakia, in Cambodia. If we really care about peace, we must stay strong.
The Daily Reagan, a presentation of SAD Healthcare. That's spelled with two A's, S-A-A-D, sadhealthcare.com. Uncle Henry's show continues here. We have news headlines coming up in less than 10 minutes from Fox and from WKRG. Over the weekend, Saturday, I went into downtown Mobile for MobiCon. I was invited by Scotty White of ScottyWhite.com to participate in his strange game show that he holds there at MobiCon. And when I was at MobiCon, Reagan Girl was there also. Reagan Girl, good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Henry. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, roll. Now, how did you enjoy MobiCon? You performed there. You danced for quite a while.
Yes, sir. And I'm more than happy to switch topics. We can talk about MobiCon. That will be perfect.
Well, that's look. People are going to want to know that I saw you there and that we have video available on the News Radio 710 WNTM Facebook page of you and your people there belly dancing at MobiCon. Now, what was the reaction like to your belly dancing?
It was wonderful. It was wonderful. We performed on Saturday and Sunday, and it was great. We always have a great time there performing, and the numbers that we perform are always MobiCon favorites, and that is what we look forward to. And it was an honor having you.
Well, I didn't get to see all of it, but it was nice. And are you still planning to come in and do that in June?
Yes, sir. Of course. And I have to give acknowledgement to my troupe. We are Zuri Rocks, and that is the name of our troupe. And we're under direction of Nadira Dalal, and she is our director, and we had a great time.
Okay. Again, you can see the video. It's not really good because it was just me on my phone, but that's on the Uncle Henry page at newsradio710.com. Before we were out of time, you called in about all the leaks. What did you want to say about the leaks?
Yes, sir. Well, I just wanted to say very quickly, now that Trump is home, he needs to fire all of the layovers those that have been there since Obama, and he needs to knock out Ivanka and her husband out of the West Wing, because that just leaves too much speculation, and I've just never seen anything like this before. We did not elect them to, and they do not need to be in the West Wing. So that was just my input, Uncle Henry.
All right. Well, have a wonderful week.
Thank you, and you too, and to Ariel.
Very good. Thank you, Reagan Girl. Reagan Girl, very gracious there at MobyCon. It was nice to spend some time there with Reagan Girl and her fellow belly dancers. Again, the video available, newsradio710.com on the Uncle Henry page, and also a picture there that I took with Reagan Girl. The belly dancing did involve scarves and swords. Scarves and swords. And it was not like it wasn't like what you see in movies. It was a bit different than what you see in movies. Maybe I've just been watching the wrong movies. All right, let's see. We have news headlines coming up in less than 5 minutes from Fox and from WKRG, and then we'll continue with more Uncle Henry Show with numerous things to get into, including all of the upset in the Texas legislature. I'm sure you saw the altercation that erupted in the Texas legislature. They've got to be very glad that it was the end of their legislative session and they don't have to go into a round 2, 3, or 4 with their physical altercations. We'll get into that and to other things as we continue here. You can continue to watch the video available on the News Radio 710 WNTM Facebook page. You can always find the video after the fact there on the Facebook page or on the Uncle Henry Show YouTube channel.
This is Uncle Henry. If you're in the market for a new vehicle, let me tell you about a great opportunity being offered by Dean McCrary Kia. It's called Test Drive 25. The first 10 people to test drive a car at Dean McCrary Kia every day this month get a $25 Visa gift card, no strings attached. You get to learn about the great deals and great vehicles like the Kia Optima, Kia Rio, and the new Kia Niro, while you also get the gift card. It's called Test Drive 25 with Dean McCrary Kia.
iHeartRadio does something no other app or website can do. Thousands of live radio stations you can take anywhere. Want to listen to that station in Denver, but you're in Philly? No problem. In Austin, but you miss Seattle? No problem. Plus, iHeartRadio lets you create your own custom artist stations.
Hey, this is Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue on iHeartRadio.
Just type in the artist you love, and iHeartRadio creates a station just for you. Free radio and unlimited music all in one app. iHeartRadio.
Angelo's here from Mobile Bay Coins. Angelo, I love the knives I bought from you, those weird French knives.
Isn't that strange?
Why do you carry French knives? How did that happen that you have French knives?
Strangely enough, I have a buddy of mine, a knife buddy in France, Kevin Birchet. It's actually Kevin Berger, if you're American. If he's listening, it's Kevin. He's corrected me on the air before with that one. Opinel is a French brand of knife. It's been around since about 1890, classic French design. Everybody over there carries them and knows what they are. We introduced those to Mobile here at the Coin Shop.
Great knives. I use mine in the kitchen, but you have knives for many purposes.
You could have a pocket knife. You could have a little keychain knife. They even carry an oyster knife. And as you mentioned, they have those great kitchen knives.
An oyster? They have oysters in France?
Well, they call them shellfish over there because the French are very shellfish people.
Okay, the knives are Opinel knives?
Opinel. Classic design, been around for 100 plus.
Mobile Bay Coins, 2204 Government Street in Midtown. Look for Mobile Bay Coins on Facebook.
Your home for traffic and weather on the nines every morning. News Radio 710 WNTM, Mobile, and iHeart radio station 99.9 WMXC HD3 Mobile. 710 time saver traffic from the Dean McCrary Kia Traffic Center.
Well, we aren't seeing much on the interstate system this morning. If you're traveling I-10 across the Bayway, everything remains in good shape there. The causeway through the Bankhead and I-65 moving nicely as well. And Bayou La Battery Shell Belt Road remains closed between Barnett Road and Kennedy Road for bridge replacement work that runs through the middle of July. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Ray Romero.
This report is brought to you by the T.J. Martell Foundation. Join the T.J. Martell Foundation in the fight against leukemia, cancer, and AIDS. Your support helps facilitate cutting-edge research that will lead to more effective treatments and save more lives. Visit tjmartell.org to learn more.
First Alert weather from WKRG News 5 and the Chemco Metal Buildings Weather Center.
Gray skies above and for some, wet streets below on the morning commute. And if you haven't been rained on yet, chances are you will be before the day is done. About a 60% chance of showers and some thunderstorms during the day today. We'll see the rain taper in the afternoon hours and our daytime high warm into the mid-80s with high humidity and light winds. I'm meteorologist John Nodar with the News 5 First Alert Storm Team.
The Russians must be laughing at us. I'm Dave Anthony. Fox News. President Trump tweeted that this morning about the Russian investigation he calls a witch hunt, writing the lame excuse for how Democrats lost has now taken over the fake news. His son-in-law is now in the bullseye, the latest controversy. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, Fox News has learned Jared Kushner did discuss the possibility of a private communication line with Moscow in December, but it was Russia's idea, not his. Counselor to the president, Kellyanne Conway, says Kushner has the full support of the president.
As you heard General McMaster, as you heard Secretary Kelly over this weekend say, they're not concerned. Back channels like this are the regular course of business.
A source familiar with the matter says the channel was designed to be temporary. Kushner has signaled he's eager to discuss the matter with lawmakers. Dave?
And Rachel, Democrats want his security clearance reviewed, maybe even revoked. Panama's infamous ex-dictator's dead. Manuel Noriega was also a drug kingpin ousted by a U.S. military operation in 1989.
Just as courts in the U.S. and France filed charges for racketeering and drug running, Noriega hid in the Vatican's Panamanian embassy. That's when the U.S. turned up the volume. Heavy metal music, and yes, that song at deafening decibels blasted into the compound, too loud for anyone to think. Eventually, Noriega surrendered. Noriega was tried in Florida. He served a decade in prison before being sent to France for trial, which eventually released him to Panamanian custody, and just recently a brain tumor and hemorrhage left him in a coma.
Fox's Eben Brown. Noriega was 83. They were attacked eating cups and cones. ISIS bombed an ice cream parlor in Baghdad today among a series of bombings in Iraq, killing at least 31 people. And an accused terrorist wannabe goes on trial in federal court today. Mohammed Kawais used to drive a bus in Virginia. He's accused of traveling to Syria, then Iraq to join ISIS. He says he made a bad decision. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Good morning, I'm Jessica Taloni with WKRG News 5, coverage you can count on. People in Semmes are waking up with electricity this morning after being left in the dark last night. A transformer blew on Water Main Street. Shortly after that, a car struck a utility pole, creating more problems. We're not sure if the two are related. Alabama power crews work to get the power back on. One Alabama city is issuing a bold challenge to community leaders. Church pastors in Selma, Alabama met with the county district attorney to discuss an Adopt a Gang Member program. The DA said he believes several recent shootings and murders in Selma are gang-related. He's asking pastors to mentor gang members and include them in church activities. The Mobile County Sheriff's Office needs your help locating a missing man. 78-year-old Vernon Lindsay has Alzheimer's. Family members say he walked away from his home on Paget Switch Road Friday night. I'm Jessica Taloni with WKRG News 5, coverage you can count on.
Up to 50% off hot deals with the Dell Memorial Day sale? Are you kidding me? That's huge. Dell has all the technology you need with an amazing selection, including the latest Dell PCs with Intel Core processors and gorgeous Samsung TVs. You can get a Google Home and Nest bundle, booming Bose audio, and so much more. Shop big Memorial Day deals by visiting Dell.com/Memorial Day. You could save up to 50% on select products by calling 800-BUY-DELL.
When you're hiring for a growing business, you don't need lots of candidates. You need the right candidates. You need Indeed.com. With an algorithm that positions your job post where quality candidates are and screener questions that help you zero in on the best talent. Indeed.com, the site proven through an independent study to deliver 5 times more hires than any other. New users claim your $50 credit for a sponsored job at Indeed.com/credit. Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
From the Mercedes-Benz of Mobile Studios, this is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show. Thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. So far, so good. Moist. A moist morning, but a good one. Email address unclehenry@gmail.com. That's unclehenry@gmail.com. Congratulations to the Jags. Speaking of being on the Jag, congratulations to the Jags, the baseball team going on to the NCAA regional tournament. They continue to win, and their first game is going to be Friday versus Mississippi State. The regional's happening nearby in Hattiesburg. Now, if you're a baseball season ticket holder, member of the Dugout Club, you can purchase tickets beginning now. Tickets on sale this morning to those people. And if you're not a season ticket holder or a Dugout Club winner, tickets go on sale for you tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. But NCAA regional tournament, the Jags are headed there. Congratulations to the Jags. Go Jags. Now, this morning I got an email about the Sam Jones for Mayor Facebook page. And I'm curious, has it been determined? I saw this page before several months ago. And I don't know that if it was ever determined if it was really Sam Jones running for mayor or if it was somebody that wanted him to run for mayor. But there is a Sam Jones for Mayor Facebook page, and there's a new post that went on the page yesterday about some complaints with Chief Barber and some complaints about a member of Sandy Stimson's staff. And it concludes with August 22nd, let's go all in and vote for Sam Jones. Please share this post. So I'm just curious, is this really Sam Jones trying to run almost an under-the-radar campaign for mayor due to lack of money, or if it's somebody trying to pull him in to the mayor's race, wishing he would run? Do you know? Could you fill me in? Email address unclehenry@gmail.com, because I'm not sure if the former mayor is officially involved with this or if it's just some people that want him to run. Or maybe if it's an effort just to see if enough people react, then he will run. I have no idea. But there's activity on that Facebook page. There's more to get to, and we'll get to it when we come back on the Uncle Henry Show.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
Well, this morning's drive really has been pretty quiet and uneventful without much to get in your way. If you're traveling I-10, crossing the Bayway through the Wallace Tunnel, Causeway and the Bankhead, all of that remains in good shape into and out of the region this morning. And the Mobile Bay Ferry Boat is running on schedule with the single ferry schedule today. No RVs or trailers allowed. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Ray Romero.
First Alert Weather from WKRG News 5 and the Southern Cancer Center Weather Center.
I'm meteorologist John Nodar with the News 5 First Alert Storm Team. Wet streets for the morning commute for a lot of folks this morning, and if it hasn't rained on you yet, just give it a little time. There's a 60% chance that a shower or thunderstorm will find you before the day is done. We'll see a daytime high in the mid-80s. The rain does taper a bit during the afternoon. The humidity stays high and the winds will be light except gusting near thunderstorms.
This report is brought to you by Compassion International. Every child is born with talents, hopes, and dreams, but poverty will steal those dreams. You can help a child find hope when you become their sponsor with Compassion International. Give a child a chance to dream again. Find out how at compassion.com/radio.
Never miss a riff. TK 101, the rock station. Your home for Rush every weekday at 11. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show. Thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. News headlines coming up in 20 minutes from Fox and from WKRG. One of the stories in national news today is what happened on the tennis in the Texas Senate. I tried to combine Texas and Senate into one stupid word. Texas Senate House floor, a scuffle over sanctuary cities. There was a protest. Protesters came in to the Texas legislature, and let's see, a scuffle broke out when a Republican state representative, Matt Rinaldi, told a group of Hispanic members of the House that he had called law enforcement on the protesters. Here is Raymond Romero, one of the Hispanic Democrat members of the Texas House.
He walked back and told us, I called ICE. And we both, what? What do you mean? You did what? He said, yeah, I called ICE. And then he said, F them.
Wow. So that word was deployed. Here is the Republican lawmaker that said that he had called ICE, Matt Rinaldi.
You say things to incite people, right. Okay? And that's exactly what I did.
Okay. He said, yes, I did. They asked him, did you say things to incite people? He said, yes, that's exactly what I did. So it worked, and there was incitement and a scuffle. In fact, at one point, there are allegations about people threatening to physically harm Matt Rinaldi and him saying that he would defend himself with firearms. And so it degenerated into that level with scuffles and threats of gunplay. I know we've had at least a few punches thrown in the Alabama legislature in years past. I wonder if every state has had punches thrown in their legislature at some point. We're aware of the early history of the United States Congress and people wanting to have duels and hit each other with canes. Things like that. I wonder if that happens in just about every legislature. You'd wish it wouldn't. Now that they've had a scuffle, does that mean there'll be more scuffles in the future, or maybe they've let the steam out and there won't be as great a risk of a scuffle? Well, in Alabama, we've had our share of state controversy, and I'm glad our legislature is not in session. And in fact, I wish they'd take a couple of years off in Alabama. Whatever problems we face, just take a couple of years off. Go back there in 2 or 3 years, and then start things back up, and we'll see where we go. Isn't that how they do it in Texas? All right, there's more to come on the Uncle Henry Show. Numerous things to get into. Including on the national level with the president. All on the way as we continue. On a Tuesday that some people are interpreting as a Monday.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-224-5353. That's 1-800-224-5353. 1-800-224-5353. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price can vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
This is Uncle Henry. I want to tell you about Dr. Thomas Bender and Advanced Dermatology and Skincare Center. We love living on the Gulf Coast. We love all the fun activities, the fishing, the golf. But years of being out in the elements, well, that can accelerate damage to your skin. That can accelerate the aging process of your skin. Dr. Bender can help you with that. Dr. Bender is a board-certified dermatologist. He provides the latest innovations in medical skincare and cosmetic skincare, and he also has all the latest technology. He's got 3 convenient locations, Mobile, Daphne, and Bay Minette. You can find out more about Dr. Bender and all of the services he provides by going online. The website is advanceddermclinic.com. That's advanceddermclinic.com. You can make an appointment there online, or you can call for your appointment. The number is 251-631-3570. That's Advanced Dermatology and Skincare Center.
MSNBC's Morning Joe speaks truth to power.
Here's a message to the White House. You keep lying, we're going to keep reporting.
With access to the people who matter, from the Senate floor to the Oval Office. Morning Joe, weekdays 6 to 9 Eastern on MSNBC.
We're here with Virginia McNeil O'Brien of McNeil Aarons Lambert Financial Group. Virginia, I've heard you talking about the second opinion service at MAL Financial. Can you tell us about it?
Sure, Uncle Henry. We offer our second opinion service with no obligation or cost to your listeners. We ask them to bring in their investment statements. We then take all of their statements and do a deep analysis of all of their investments in their portfolio.
You don't charge a fee for all this?
Uncle Henry, that is something we do not do and haven't done since 1922 when my great-grandfather started our firm. We know that if we do a good and honest job of our second opinion service and explain everything in simple and easy-to-understand terms, people will turn to us to help them with their retirement planning needs.
You can call McNeil Aarons Lambert at 251-666-5000 or visit them online at malfinancial.com.
Ed and Virginia are investment advisor representatives of Global Financial Private Capital. Investment advisory services offered through Global Financial Private Capital, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Hey there, this is Dr. Vanessa Marie Perry, the host of the Love Right Unplugged podcast on iHeartRadio, where we interview the top relationship experts, coaches, matchmakers, therapists, and couples. The podcast provides advice, tips, and inspiration to singles and couples on how to develop and maintain a healthy relationship. Check us out weekly. Search for Love Right Unplugged on iHeartRadio.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Dean McCrary Volkswagen Traffic Center.
Well, this morning's drive really has been pretty quiet and uneventful without much to get in your way. If you're traveling I-10, crossing the Bayway through the Wallace Tunnel, Causeway and the Bankhead, all of that remains in good shape into and out of the region this morning. And the Mobile Bay Ferry Boat is running on schedule with the single ferry schedule today. No RVs or trailers allowed. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Ray Romero.
This report is brought to you by TrueCar. Using TrueCar, you can easily find the car you want. TrueCar users save an average of over $3,000 off MSRP when you're ready to buy a new or used car. Visit TrueCar to enjoy a more confident car buying experience.
First Alert Weather from WKRG News 5 and the Chemco Metal Buildings Weather Center.
Rain and thunderstorms return today. I'm meteorologist John Nodar with the News 5 First Alert Storm Team. 60% chance of showers and some thunderstorms, especially during the morning hours. It will taper a bit in the afternoon. Daytime high, mid-80s with high humidity and a southeasterly breeze. And we've got more soggy days in store for later this week.
We love Nick Saban. Just wanted to get that out of the way. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show, thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. News headlines coming your way in about 10 minutes from Fox and from WKRG. The White House Communications Director, Mike Dubke, is resigning. He's been on the job for 3 months. So we have one. I don't know if that's the whole shakeup, or if there's more to come, but many people expected some staff changes when President Trump got back from his trip, and this morning you already have somebody from the White House communications staff resigning. Let's talk to Bob T. Hello, Bob T.
Good morning, Uncle Henry.
Yes, sir.
Did you have a good Memorial Day yesterday?
I did. Yes, sir.
Oh, it was a great, great day to honor those that gave the ultimate sacrifice. You know, Uncle Henry, I had two uncles, my daddy's brothers, that landed on the beaches there at Normandy and Omaha Beach, and these guys, if you remember the movie that came out, Tom Hanks played in it, Saving Private Ryan.
That is yes.
Yeah, one of my uncles, he said that was the most vivid depiction of the beach scenes in that movie when it's at the beginning of the movie, and he said that's some of the most it depicts exactly what they went through. That's what he shared with me, and he said, of course, it was naturally it was worse than that, but that was the best depiction he had ever seen of it.
Right. It's hard for most of us to imagine what it would be like to have to. It was just an enormous and amazing undertaking that day was.
Yes, it was, and so many gave their lives, and but he, he had tears in his eyes when he told me that, because it was, being there and seeing that kind of gruesome warfare, it really, touched him. But Uncle Henry, of course, he's gone on to be with the Lord now. He was a 40-year veteran. He served in the World War II and Korean War, Vietnam War. So he experienced all of those. But it was a great day, and to honor those, and I pray that our nation never gets to the point to where they don't remember that, because when we get to where we don't remember those things, it's bound to happen again.
Right. I think at least locally we will not forget. We still send an enormous number of people to serve and to sacrifice, their families sacrificing here, this part of the country, more than many other parts of the country. So at least locally, I don't think we will forget. Now, Bob T., you told Ariel that you were going to talk about something completely different.
Yeah, I did, and I just wanted to put that in there, and don't let me forget this. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, roll.
Roll Tide. Yeah, and this big controversy over these back lines that in Washington of contacting Russia through a back line and all of that. It's been going on. This has been going on. Every president just about it has done this. It's not nothing new. Kennedy done it back in his day, and so it's nothing new. It's just these liberal Democrats are just wanting to stir up something, want to keep something going, and as soon as this gets passed, they're going to come up with something else. It's just a never-ending story of their them trying to bring down Trump, and Uncle Henry, the Bible says that the truth will set you free. And so the truth is going to come out, on all of these things that they're telling lies about, and so that I don't know why they can't understand that lies will never hold up. It's because the truth will always set a man free, and it'll set our country free. So,
all right. Well, Bob T., thank you very much for your phone call to the program. Certainly, you talked about stirring things up. Things are stirred. Things are very stirred up. I don't know that we've seen this level of stirring. I'm trying to think when it has been stirred at this level. Stirred to the point that it may be splashing out of the pot and making a big mess on the stove with all the stirring that's going on. And yes, I'm sure we will see continued different things stirring things up. Usually, and the thing is, the president had a lot of experience himself stirring things up. So we're probably in for several more years of each day having its own controversy. I just wonder, when are people going to get numb to it and turn their attention elsewhere to other things? Maybe football season, unless there's a lot of political protests during football season. Or we have news coming your way from Fox and from WKRG. And then more Uncle Henry Show. Again, congratulations to the Jags baseball team. Go Jags, heading to the NCAA tournament Friday in Hattiesburg.
Now, according to Politico, Republicans are facing anger at town hall meetings from Obamacare lovers. Near Sacramento, Republican California Congressman Tom McClintock was greeted by hundreds of protesters who had no interest in a town hall discussion. They were there to disrupt. They shouted him down. They were so vicious, the congressman needed a police escort to get him out of the event, while the disruptors screamed, "Resist and shame." Florida Congressman Gil Bilirakis faced a hostile crowd in Pinellas County. Politico says that Bilirakis got 2 hours of anger from his constituents, young, old, black, and white, who demanded he not repeal Obamacare. Now, these protests are not spontaneous. They're manufactured. They're part of a left-wing strategy. How do I know? Easy. Before he left office, Obama met with Democrats to scheme how they could sabotage Republicans in Obamacare. They didn't even bother to hide it. It was well reported by the drive-bys. They aren't even waiting until the Republicans announce their plans on Obamacare. These protesters just want to intimidate Republicans into doing nothing. So some bought and paid for protesters are being bussed in to disrupt town hall meetings. That's no reason for Republicans to go wobbly. After the November election, there are no more excuses. Zero. They've got to ignore the staged anger and do what they promised. Repeal Obamacare once and for all and get going on tax cuts now.
If you know the value of good machines, then it's high time we got together. We're Bailey Industrial, builders of metal and woodworking equipment. Hard-working machines for hard-working people. We stand behind our equipment and make sure our equipment stands behind you. Offering you the after-sale support you need to keep your shop running smoothly, which means making sure you have what you need when you need it. Typically shipping within 72 hours or less. So whether you're a fabricator or manufacturer of metal or wood products, go to Bailey.com or call 920-MACHINE and we'll send you a catalog. That's right, friend, over 400 pages of what you love most, machines. So whatever you're looking to build or manufacture, do it with Bailey Industrial, the company you can trust to give you the equipment and service you can rely on. That's B-A-I-L-E-I-G-H, Bailey, because if it's worth doing right, it's only right to do it with Bailey. So call 920-MACHINE or go to Bailey.com now and pick up your free catalog.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
Downtown Mobile utility work still has Virginia Street closed between Dexter and Broad. That project runs through July. Not much happening presently in terms of big accidents on the board. We've had a scattering of a few earlier this morning, but nothing of significance if you're making the trip on I-10 crossing the Bayway through the Wallace Tunnel, Causeway, and the Bankhead. Same story there. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Ray Romero.
First Alert Weather from WKRG News 5 and the Southern Cancer Center Weather Center.
Gray skies above and for some, wet streets below on the morning commute. And if you haven't been rained on yet, chances are you will be before the day is done. About a 60% chance of showers and some thunderstorms during the day today. We'll see the rain taper in the afternoon hours and our daytime high warm into the mid-80s with high humidity and light winds. I'm meteorologist John Nodar with the News 5 First Alert Storm Team.
Good morning, I'm Jessica Taloni with WKRG News 5 coverage you can count on. Strong storms swept through our area overnight. In Grand Bay, a mobile home off Rainbow Downs Road was significantly damaged. A News 5 viewer reports roof damage and a fence down around the mobile home. On Cottage Hill Road, crews worked early this morning to remove a large limb that fell. 3 of 4 lanes on Cottage Hill were blocked around 3 this morning, while crews used heavy equipment to remove that limb. The search continues for 16-year-old Brian Parker, who was reported missing 1 week ago today. Last week, police searched the trailer of Matthew Moberg, who was the last person seen with Parker. Moberg was arrested after a 2-hour manhunt last Wednesday. Moberg will be back in court today. His attorney is asking a judge to reconsider a bond. South Alabama fans will not have to travel far to watch their Jags in the NCAA regionals. The Jags will be number 3 seed in the Hattiesburg region, hosted by Southern Miss. Mississippi State is also in that regional. I'm Jessica Taloni with WKRG News 5 coverage you can count on.
Fox News Radio, I'm Chris Foster. President Trump's communications director is leaving. Mike Dubke turned in his resignation a week and a half ago, actually, according to White House counsel Kellyanne Conway.
He has expressed his desire to leave the White House and made very clear that he would see through the president's international trip and come to work every day and work hard even through that trip because there was much to do here back at the White House.
Dubke tells Fox he's still at work, though, with no final day set. The former Panamanian dictator Manuel Noriega died, 83 years old. Fox's Lisa Lacera.
He was a military intelligence officer who worked for the CIA and ruled Panama from 1983 until U.S. forces invaded in 1989 to remove him from power and capture him.
Noriega spent years in American, French, and Panamanian prisons, released in January. Fox News, we report, you decide.
This is Uncle Henry with news and comment. The digital currency Bitcoin is surging in value. I'll explain after this for SAD Healthcare. SAD Healthcare now offering LSVT, research-based treatment for the debilitating movement and voice-related effects of Parkinson's disease. Call 251-343-9600. It's spelled SAAD, sadhealthcare.com. The digital currency Bitcoin is thriving during the Donald Trump presidency. This year alone, in 2017, Bitcoin has gone up 125%, surging in value. The prices this week have reached a record near $2,200. And it seems to be behaving like a commodity, like gold. When our dollar is weakened, Bitcoin is going up. Now, I wish I could talk more about this, but this digital currency stuff is way over my head. More of me at newsradio710.com.
When you're hiring for a growing business, you don't need lots of candidates. You need the right candidates. You need Indeed.com. With an algorithm that positions your job post where quality candidates are and screener questions that help you zero in on the best talent. Indeed.com, the site proven through an independent study to deliver 5 times more hires than any other. New users claim your $50 credit for a sponsored job at Indeed.com/credit. Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
Mercedes-Benz is a car like no other. We're offering leasing specials to fit any budget, only at Mercedes-Benz of Mobile. If you thought you couldn't afford a Mercedes, think again. Mercedes-Benz of Mobile has your lifestyle and budget in mind. Come and visit our showroom on Dolphin Street or go to mbmobile.com for details. When I say affordable, I really mean it. Only at Mercedes-Benz of Mobile.
Up to 50% off hot deals with the Dell Memorial Day sale? Are you kidding me? That's huge. Dell has all the technology you need with an amazing selection, including the latest Dell PCs with Intel Core processors and gorgeous Samsung TVs. You can get a Google Home and Nest bundle, booming Bose audio, and so much more. Shop big Memorial Day deals by visiting Dell.com/Memorial Day. You could save up to 50% on select products by calling 800-BUY-DELL.
This morning at 9, Ask the Expert. Then Rush at 11. Right now, it's Uncle Henry on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show. Thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. Ariel, please join me here. As a young mom, I need to get your thoughts on this. There are lots of stories out about fidget spinners.
Oh, yeah.
Now, we've talked about them before. They're the gigantic craze that is just generating enormous amounts of money.
Right.
And now parents are starting to say fidget spinners are dangerous and want them eliminated. That children are swallowing portions of these things, and they want them pulled off the market, saying they're dangerous to their children.
That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Now, in Ireland, Ireland has now decided to stop fidget spinners from coming into the country. They're being blocked at the border.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
In Ireland, you can't get one into Ireland.
Because they're dangerous.
Yes.
I guess I'm trying to figure out what parts they're swallowing, because I didn't know that there were removable parts for these toys.
There must be some loose parts. There was a 10-year-old Texas girl that choked on a fidget spinner.
Okay, why doesn't she at 10 years old have sense enough not to put that in her mouth?
Look, that's the kind of question that people are very reluctant to ask.
Okay, so it isn't the fidget spinners, it's your kid. Your kid is the problem.
Another mother talked about her 3-year-old son getting the fidget spinner stuck on his finger.
Like, why does he even have a fidget spinner? He's 3. Of course he doesn't have an attention span. And he's not going to get one for another 2 years. Like, my 2-year-old wants one. Like, he picks it up every time he walks in the store, but he can't have one. You want to know why? Because he's not old enough to responsibly handle a fidget spinner. I know this about my kid. Therefore, I don't buy him those kind of things.
You're actually parenting.
Yeah.
You're actually parenting.
Hello. I'm not letting the fidget spinner babysit my kid.
This fad continues to just go nuts. I'm seeing where now some music producer is creating music using fidget spinners.
Yeah, they're already out, and in fact, there's a local store that sells them. I've seen them. They're pretty expensive.
What, musical fidget spinners?
Yes. It plays music. Kid you not. It's quite the craze. I mean, not to be that judgy mom, but come on, man. Like, when your kid doesn't have enough sense not to put stuff in his mouth and not swallow it. So don't buy him things that he can or she can put in her mouth and swallow it.
Let's see. The New York Post reports that pornographers are creating fidget spinner porn.
Okay, now that's too far. That's a lot.
It is really if you Google fidget spinners and look on news stories, it's just there are hundreds of stories.
The fact that you just related it to porn, I'm afraid now to Google it and see what it comes
exactly.
up.
But every community seems to be dealing with this, having to deal with it in some way, either from a safety standpoint, a disruption of classroom standpoint, or people wanting to capitalize on it standpoint.
This is ridiculous.
All right, Ariel, thank you. Ariel, in favor of parenting. I know that's a shock to many, but Ariel, keeping it real, saying that you should be a parent when it comes to the fidget spinner.
No big accidents or breakdowns on the board as we begin to wind down the morning drive. We are watching the weather radar. There is quite a bit of rain, but the majority of this is pretty well to the north of our region, a little bit to the west of us as well. The Mobile Bay Ferry Boat is running the single ferry schedule today. No RVs or trailers allowed. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Ray Romero.
This report is brought to you by TrueCar. Using TrueCar, you can easily find the car you want. TrueCar users save an average of over $3,000 off MSRP when you're ready to buy a new or used car. Visit TrueCar to enjoy a more confident car buying experience.
First Alert Weather from WKRG News 5 and the Chemco Metal Buildings Weather Center.
I'm meteorologist John Nodar with the News 5 First Alert Storm Team. Wet streets for the morning commute for a lot of folks this morning, and if it hasn't rained on you yet, just give it a little time. There's a 60% chance that a shower or thunderstorm will find you before the day is done. We'll see a daytime high in the mid-80s. The rain does taper a bit during the afternoon. The humidity stays high, and the winds will be light except gusting near thunderstorms.
This report is brought to you by Mattress Firm. Don't miss the final days of Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale and get savings of up to $1,000 store-wide on Beautyrest, Serta, and more. Plus, get interest-free financing for 6 years. Only at Mattress Firm.
Roll Tide. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show, thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. One more thing on the fidget spinners. So Ireland is blocking them from coming into the country. They've built their wall against a fidget spinner. And now in this country, parents, there are stories from around the country of people going into emergency rooms with their kids, either swallowing fidget spinners or getting them stuck on their hands. When do you think the class action lawsuit is going to start? There's going to be a commercial on TV. Have you been injured by a fidget spinner? If so, call 1-800. You know it's coming. It may already be on there. The class action lawsuit. Whoever made all the money from the fidget spinners needs to get it in cash and go ahead and go live in wherever you can live and protect your money. I'd say offshore accounts, wherever Kim.com is living is where you should go. Because the lawyers, I just looked, just a quick look on Google, and it's different communities reporting different children going to emergency rooms. Do you remember lawn darts? And how we don't have those anymore. Just had to mention that. All right, what else? What else to get into? Back into Washington, just real quick. We had the news out this morning that a member of the communications team, Mike Dubke, communications director for President Trump, is resigning. He's been on the job for 3 months, and he's out now. He's leaving. There's a website, Axios.com. I don't know a lot about that website, but they've got a story today saying that President Trump is about to bring in several people to help him strategize that worked with him during his campaign, including someone named David Urban, who is a prominent GOP lobbyist, which that word won't go over well since we've heard the phrase drain the swamp, and swamp equals lobbyist. But Urban, he's described as a West Point grad, master's degree in government, law degree, and that he may be part of the war room, helping Donald Trump get his message out. And other changes may include less press briefings on camera with Sean Spicer and more travel from President Trump, since he seems to do better when he's out on the road, and more of him speaking rather than his press secretary. And I don't know what all the sources are. I don't know if these are leaks or unnamed sources or what, but that's from Axios.com. And it's probably a good idea to have President Trump out in front of friendly crowds more often. Or visiting with foreign dignitaries that actually want his ear. There's more to come. Uncle Henry Show coming up here on News Radio 710 WNTM and 99.5 FM The Jag.
You've heard the news.
It's a new generation of missiles.
You know the story.
All options are on the table.
Now it's time to share your opinion.
We have a very serious issue in the world right now called North Korea.
News Radio 710, WNTM.
For the best home theater design, equipment, and installation, call TSI Alarms and Audio. Call 251-662-0500 or visit them online at thetsigroup.com. That's TSI Alarms and Audio.
The IRS doesn't mess around. If they want your money, they'll take it. They can take your paycheck and bank accounts too, even threaten your home or business. And it's about to get worse. The IRS just hired an army of new tax enforcers. So, if you owe back taxes, the smartest thing you can do is call Optima Tax Relief. Optima has access to a special IRS tax assistance program called the Fresh Start Initiative. And their clients that qualify are saving thousands, even tens of thousands. One call starts the process to stop the demand letters, stop aggressive collection actions, and stop that army of new enforcers from targeting you. But don't delay. It's important to act now while you still have options. Optima is A-rated with the Better Business Bureau. Optima has already resolved over $500 million of tax debt for their clients. Get your life back. Call now for your free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Angelo's here from Mobile Bay Coins. Angelo, when you do a free appraisal, what kind of appraisal is it?
We have a couple different options, Uncle Henry. Number one, most importantly, if you want to sell your items and you're trying to figure out what those are worth, bring them by the coin shop. That could be coins, jewelry, sterling silver flatware, Confederate paper money. We will make you an offer, an appraisal based off of what we will pay you for those items right now on the spot. The other option is you can get an insurance appraisal. Maybe you want to get this insured. This is part of your collection. You don't want to sell it. You want to hang on to it, but you don't want to lose it in a fire or some sort of other tragedy. We can do an insurance appraisal for you.
But the insurance appraisal, there's a fee with that, correct?
That fee is $0 and no cents.
How can that be?
Because we don't charge. We do not charge for those appraisals, Uncle Henry.
Truly free appraisals?
Absolutely free.
Mobile Bay Coins, 2204 Government Street, Midtown Mobile. Look for Mobile Bay Coins on Facebook. The website is mobilebaycoins.com.
Have you been to our house yet? Visit the iHeartRadio Virtual House presented by Bugmaster. There's thousands of dollars in home improvement prices just waiting for you. Gift cards, furniture, lawn equipment, and more. Head to our station's website right now and type in keyword house. Click on any room in the house to sign up and win. The iHeartRadio Virtual House presented by Bugmaster, Coastal Patio Warehouse, and Beard Equipment. Visit our station's website, keyword house.
You're unique, so why's your mattress one size fits all? It's Joe Pags here talking about Helix Sleep. Helix builds custom mattresses shipped right to your door for hundreds of dollars instead of thousands. Go to helixsleep.com, answer a few simple questions, and they'll build you a mattress made just for you. I went and did it, went to the website, got our Helix mattress, and my wife and I both love it. Shipping is free. You're going to have 100 nights to try it out. Go to helixsleep.com/talkradio. Get $50 towards your new mattress. helixsleep.com/talkradio.
So the impossible has happened, and in this lifetime. What does a Guns N' Roses reunion mean for Axl Rose and Slash's legacy?
He's in my ass. That's where Slash is.
Well, we have an appetite for answers, an appetite for distortion. Appetite for Distortion with Brando and Scotto, the first and only Guns N' Roses podcast on iHeartRadio.
No big accidents or breakdowns on the board as we begin to wind down the morning drive. We are watching the weather radar. There is quite a bit of rain, but the majority of this is pretty well to the north of our region, a little bit to the west of us as well. The Mobile Bay Ferry Boat is running the single ferry schedule today. No RVs or trailers allowed. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Ray Romero.
This report is brought to you by TrueCar.
Using TrueCar, you can easily find the car you want. TrueCar users save an average of over $3,000 off MSRP when you're ready to buy a new or used car. Visit TrueCar to enjoy a more confident car buying experience.
First Alert Weather from WKRG News 5 and the Southern Cancer Center Weather Center.
Rain and thunderstorms return today. I'm meteorologist John Nodar with the News 5 First Alert Storm Team. 60% chance of showers and some thunderstorms, especially during the morning hours. It will taper a bit in the afternoon. Daytime high, mid-80s with high humidity and a southeasterly breeze. And we've got more soggy days in store for later this week.
Your home for traffic and weather on the 9s every morning. This is News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show, thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. Final segment of this morning's program. Coming up on The Jag, 99.5 The Jag at 11 o'clock this morning. Colin Cowherd, one of the most popular and provocative sports hosts in the country. That's at 11 o'clock today on The Jag. Coming up on News Radio 710 WNTM. In the next hour, we'll talk to the people at Window World about windows, doors, siding, garage doors, decks, hurricane products, all of that coming up next hour with Window World. Ariel, please join me here. I know that lately, Ariel is on 100.3 The Beat, thebeatofmobile.com. And you have, in the past few weeks, you have been blogging on thebeatofmobile.com on the Ariel page about some very personal matters.
Absolutely. I feel like that's the best way to write about it, right?
Well, now I don't want to get into what you're going to do today.
Okay.
But I looked on Facebook and saw that you're asking, are you really going to write today about what you're asking people about?
Not today. Tomorrow. That gives people time to answer my question. So far, I have 4 responses.
Okay.
And it hasn't been up there that long.
All right. I'm not going to mention what Ariel is going to write about because I don't think it fits this program I don't want it to.
Good.
Do you worry, though, about revealing too much of yourself when you write these things?
Yes. Yes. It's a little scary to kind of, but I feel if you're not a little afraid and you don't take a couple risks, then you're not probably living enough.
Okay.
So I'm going to take a couple risks and see what happens.
All right. Well, this is the week then to be reading Ariel's page at thebeatofmobile.com.
Oh, you will definitely want to read it by tomorrow.
Okay.
I don't know that I'm doing something very exciting tomorrow.
I don't know that I want to. I don't know that I should know.
Right.
But,
well, you know what? No, not tomorrow. Thursday will be the day because I have a class coming up Thursday. Not my class. I'm going to a certain class Thursday. And we'll talk about it later.
Oh, my. Okay. Wow. This is not crochet, by the way.
No, this is not a crochet class.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, Ariel, best to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I did not expect. I thought, I can't believe that. I can't think of much more personal. That's about as personal as anything I've ever seen anybody put on Facebook. All right. In other things. So that's Ariel's, her page on thebeatofmobile.com. where you can look for that later in the week. In terms of things frivolous, I wondered before the weekend, I wondered who would want to see a 5th Pirates of the Caribbean movie. And it turns out lots of people in the world. Now, it over the 4 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, it's projected to have pulled in $77 million in our country. But you add that to over 200 million globally. So around the planet, there are still people that want to see Johnny Depp in the Pirates of the Caribbean movie. So that shocked me. I thought once you've seen it, I mean, how different can it be? You could always just watch the first one again. If you really like it, it's aren't they all basically the same? Just like the Jason Bourne movies. The Jason Bourne movies are almost exactly the same movie every time. So they say it's the final one. But if it makes that much money, how can they resist doing another one? Meanwhile, the Baywatch movie just completely crashed and burned, even though it had The Rock in it. Let's see, in other news, Cambridge researchers, somebody really got paid to do this research. They noticed that wine glasses have increased in size dramatically. And behavioral scientists say that this has led to, surprise, surprise, people drinking more wine. They studied wine glasses from the 18th century up to modern times and could chart that they get bigger and bigger and bigger. And the bigger the glass, the more likely we are to drink more. I wonder about that, though, because if you had a small glass, wouldn't people just drink more glasses of it? Would the size really matter when it comes to a glass? Does it matter if it's a 12-ounce beer or a 16-ounce beer? Aren't you going to if it's a 12-ounce, you're going to drink more individual beers to get the same amount? Well, according to these researchers, no. If you have a bigger container, you will drink more. And finally, there's a story out. You can find this online in numerous places. Researchers are saying they've studied earlobes, and that a certain diagonal crease in your earlobe is linked to a higher risk of stroke. They claim that clogging of the arteries leads to poor blood supply to the earlobes, causing your earlobes to develop this type of creasing. These are Israeli researchers, and the websites that have featured this news story have pictures of famous people like Mel Gibson and Steven Spielberg that they claim have increased risk of stroke due to their famous earlobes. So if you have another thing to be paranoid about is your earlobes. Might want to iron them out. All right, out of time. Thank you for listening to The Uncle Henry Show or watching it.